right back to it, and we have the Baltimore Ravens going to the jungle and visiting the Cincinnati Bengals. Deja vu all over again. We just had this exact matchup this past week where the Bengals took a 27-16 W. Earlier on in the season, we had the Ravens actually clawing out a win versus the Bengals at home. But this game will be played, like I said, in the jungle. And most likely the Ravens will be without Lamar Jackson. And honestly, I don't think it matters. Even if the Ravens did have Lamar coming off of an injury where he's been out since early December, which would be about 6 weeks at this point, and being a lower body injury, leg injury, his game being indicative of his legs, I just don't see a situation where the Ravens are in a good position to succeed with him at quarterback, Tyler Huntley at quarterback, or Anthony Brown, or I think that's what his name was, at quarterback. So, I don't know, man. Who do you think's gonna win this game?
I think if Lamar is there, I think it's a game. If Lamar is not there, I think that Cincy is going to win. 8.5. I don't think they cover, just because I feel like Jim Harbaugh is annoying and he's going to slow the game down and control tempo like that.
Hey, it was 27-16 this past week.
Yeah. So, I mean, that would cover, though.
That wouldn't. I mean, for the Bengals, it would cover. It was covered 8.5, but it would also go over this 40.5, which I love the over in this game. Love it. I know I've been saying overs for all these games. I didn't say anything for the Giants game, just because I'm not sure. Like, I'm not sure how the game is gonna go, so I wouldn't necessarily say that it would go over. It went over the Giants game went over the last time they played, the 48.5, when it was 27-24. But as we were saying, this Bengals score, I mean, Jamar Chase is going to absolutely eat. Now, the one part of this that we haven't mentioned yet, though, is that Alex Kappa, Pro Bowl guard for the Bengals, one of their big signings this offseason, and one of the key reasons why the offensive line that they spent so much money on, although they had very little success early in the season, they have been one of the best offensive lines in football because of their continuity. The problem being now is that Alex Kappa is going to be missing his second straight week, and they will have to resort to a backup. And if there is something to be said about this Bengals Ravens matchup, very similar to the Minnesota Vikings defense, the Ravens defense also is very good at generating turnovers. And surprisingly, I'm not sure if this is accurate or not, but if you look at the overall statistics of not George Kittle statistics of the Cincinnati Bengals, it's that they have actually turned the ball over a good amount of times this season. If we can just pull that up right here, they turned. I am positive though that the Ravens are top 10 in turnovers created this season. But if we're going to do interceptions, Joe Burrow had 12, and then how many fumbles do we have? They had fumbles lost. They had 18, so they had 18 turnovers this season. I mean, they also generated a whole bunch as well, but that's a considerable amount. They generated a lot of turnovers. Also, the Bengals, a lot of them came against the Bucs a couple of weeks ago when where they had 5 turnovers in like 7 possessions. But so that skews the stats a little bit. But that's where, if the Bengals are turned over by the Ravens, that's where I do see this becoming a little bit more of a game. If I had to make if I would have to say that I would take the Bengals minus the 8.5. I mean, I just don't see a way that the Ravens are able. Like John Harbaugh is a great coach. I saw him this last weekend. He was seething on the sideline. He was pissed off. You know, he's gonna telling everyone we're coming back here and we're gonna kick their butt and we're gonna be ready to go. But at the end of the day, when talent gets on the field and you have Joe Burrow versus Anthony Brown or whoever the heck it is, I just see the Bengals rolling here, and it's even if it's Lamar, Houday is going to definitely take the W. And I love Jamar Chase and not T. Higgins in this game. I love a nice Jamar Chase game. I mean, he's even money to score a touchdown, so you know what the books think about him. I mean, he's a highlight waiting to happen, and I just if I had to give a prop, one of my favorite things is betting Trey Hendrickson to if he's playing. I believe he's active for this. Going to be active for this game. Trey Hendrickson, all pro linebacker, defensive lineman for the Bengals to get a sack. I don't know what the line will be, but I love Trey Hendrickson, and he is a very good player. And he dominated.
Thank you for the advice.
Hmm?
Thank you for the advice.
Yes, sir. Okay. Now, to our final game of the weekend, the super wild card weekend. We got the limping Dallas Cowboys going up against the also limping and not really good division winners, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So surprisingly, this was actually the first game of the year. All the way back when we were young, we thought that this would be an incredible NFL season. We all thought we had amazing fantasy football drafts and that our teams were destined for greatness. We had a absolute stinker the first night of the year that set the precedent almost for the bad Thursday night and bad primetime games that we were getting a lot of the season. And we had the Bucks actually dismantle the Cowboys. It's also the game that Dak got hurt. It was a 19-3 drubbing. It was not a fun game to watch. We all wanted to turn it off, but football was back, so we kept it on. I have no idea how this game is going. None. No clue. Cowboys have looked terrible the last couple of weeks. Dak has been turning the ball over. He has 13 interceptions since he's come back from the not since he's come back from the injury, since week 12. He has 13 interceptions. He is not playing good football. And then you have Tom Brady, who, 2 weeks ago finally looked like he knew what he was doing when he and Mike Evans had the fantasy game of their lives and actually looked like a competent offense again with 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. But I don't know. It's just I don't have a lean to this game because they both have disruptors on the defensive end. Micah Parsons, Vita Vea, Levante David. You got Vin Endrash.
Yeah, Endrash.
We got Diggs, and we got I was gonna say Murphy Bunting, but I meant Anthony and Winfield Jr. Winfield Jr. safety for the Bucks.
You said Levante David?
Well, I said Levante David already, but yeah. But they both have playmakers. Obviously, they both have playmakers on the offensive end. Godwin, Evans, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, Pollard, Zeke. Not really Fournette and Rashad White, but there's a lot of good players. Obviously, you got Tom Brady in there as well. So if you had, and Tom Brady also has never lost to the Cowboys ever, which is
Really?
never. Tom Brady has never lost to the Cowboys, and if
Yeah,
you
I don't bet against Tom Brady anymore.
record versus Cowboys, I mean, 5 times in his career, but yeah, 0-5 versus Tom, 8-5 versus Tom Brady, exactly. That's the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, in these spots, the correct thing to do is likely to bet for Tom Brady.
Yeah,
Tom
I don't bet
Brady
against
goes
Tom Brady
against
anymore.
someone like Micah Parsons, and Micah Parsons has his chance and his moment. That's where it comes a little bit, it gets a little bit dicey for me. That that's who I think is gonna have the most, like, the biggest profound effect on this game is gonna be Micah Parsons. And that's why I wouldn't even take the Cowboys to cover the 2.5. I think it would be like, I think it's a 2 or 1 point game. I think it's a very close ball game. But I
Yeah,
would really
I'll
take
take
the
I'll
Cowboys
take
to win.
Buccaneers money on that.
I definitely hear. I honestly, I've bet against Tom Brady my entire life because Jet fan and just not liking the guy. I mean, I'll probably be wrong. I would have to put, I would put it at a 55-40, 52-48. I'd lean towards the Cowboys on this because I don't know where I don't feel like this is a guarantee, a lock. I mean, you hear how I'm speaking. It's not any like volition behind it. It's just, it's a little bit of a feeling that the Cowboys will get the W as long as they're able to run the ball, which is not something that's easy to do against the Buccaneers. Pollard and Zeke have to be a big part of this game, and getting those. Dak's been struggling throwing the ball deep down the field recently. He needs to hit a couple of those this game. I think that CeeDee Lamb also needs to have one of those home run type of plays to really break the game open and give them that opportunity to go ahead. Although the Brady in the, like, if this game is like gross and like 17-10 late, and then Brady has the ball, then Brady's winning the game. That's how he's been winning these games this year. Like, it's been disgusting football, and then all of a sudden he knows how to play in the back half of the fourth quarter. So honestly, I would have to, if I had to choose, I would choose the Cowboys to get the W. But I would not be surprised if Tom Brady makes me look foolish for the millionth time.
Always. I don't bet against Tom Brady anymore. That's it. I've learned my lesson. Rules set in stone.
Yeah. So if I were to regularly pick these W's, I would go Niners, Chargers, even though I said the Jaguars to cover, a different score. Niners, Chargers, this is winning. Niners, Chargers, Bills, Vikings, Bengals, Cowboys.
49ers, Chargers, Bills, Giants, Bengals, Bucks.
I hear ya. Okay, and just for S's and G's, predictions beyond Super Wild Card Weekend. Who do you have as your
Niners are going all the way.
what?
Niners.
You have Brock Purdy and the San Francisco 49ers going to get, who are they playing in the NFC Championship game? Let's start
Who are
there.
they playing in the NFC Championship game? Who are they playing in the NFC Championship game? Probably the Eagles.
The Eagles, okay.
It's probably the Eagles.
All right. And on the other side, who do you have the Chiefs playing? Because I have the Chiefs in the title game.
I have Chiefs in title game. I do.
Exactly, and so do I.
I would love to say the Chargers and his and his Luka Doncic-esque type of ball in.
The problem is that they would likely play them in the second round.
Oh, would they? See,
unless the Dolphins win.
All right, then probably. Well, they could play the Bills in the right. Then
it would be the Bills, but then it would be a neutral site.
Okay, so yeah, so probably the Bills.
Okay. And then you would have the Niners, and then who you have going to Super Bowl against the Niners?
I don't like betting against Patrick Mahomes. I think he's too good.
So Niners, Chiefs,
Again, I'm down.
again from earlier this season also, by the way.
Oh, I don't remember that one, but I'll take your word for it.
Yes, it did happen. That was the last game that the Niners actually lost this season.
Oh, wow. So yeah, that's my prediction for this year. And like I said, and then I have Niners winning, going all the way. That's already
Okay.
placed. All right. Week 8, $50 on the Niners. And
Mhm.
then Garoppolo gets hurt. God damn.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I have not even like thought, so it's funny because I wanted to hear someone else's prediction first, just to like get my brain moving. I haven't made a Super Bowl prediction at all in my brain and anything. So
On the spot, who you got?
off the top of the head, I mean, obviously, I'm gonna pick the Chiefs to be in the title game. Whether it's the Bills or the Bengals, that's where I struggle because I don't see any of the other squads getting in. Not the Ravens, the Dolphins. I don't think the Jaguars or the Chargers have a real chance. So I would. It's gonna come down to the Bills and Bengals, and it's so tough because we were supposed to see this game and like I would have a better feel for what would happen. And like without that, not unknown, it's like tough to even make a decision on who I would pick. But I would have to say that Joe Burrow is on a mission, and I would pick the Bengals to get back and have a rematch versus the Chiefs. And for Joe Burrow, ah, like tough because there's part of me that really thinks that the Bengals go back.
Yeah.
Not picking against Mahomes because I don't pick against Mahomes. So
I hear it. I wouldn't be shocked.
but I would not be surprised if once again the Bengals knock off the Chiefs.
Once again, the Bengals knock off the Chiefs. Okay.
And to get to the Super Bowl. But I'm going to put the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. On the NFC side, so obviously, like I said, I had the Vikings. I had the Vikings advancing. I have the Vikings, the Niners, and the Cowboys advancing, which puts the Cowboys in versus the Eagles, and then the Vikings versus the Niners. Right? Yeah. Okay. And then we would have I would pick the Niners to win that game and the Eagles. So I would have the Niners Eagles as well. I mean, I'm gonna have to take the Eagles over the Niners in that one, only because I believe in Jalen Hurts more than I believe in Brock Purdy. And
I
while
believe in
the
McCaffrey.
Niners defense is amazing, the Eagles defense, although it's gonna be tough because the Eagles do struggle against the run, and having Christian McCaffrey is gonna be a very big deal for the Niners in that game. I just think that Jalen Hurts is going to be too much, and it is going to be too much of a weapon against the Niners defense that they're not going to be that neutralizes Nick Bosa, neutralizes that entire defensive line, and also having AJ Brown, and let's not forget Devontae Smith, the number one receiver a couple of years ago. One of my favorite players, coming out of Alabama. He is a number one receiver in 70% of offenses in the NFL. He just happens to play next to AJ Brown, so he's a number 2. And Jalen Hurts is going to distribute the ball. Dallas Goedert's getting healthier, and I think it's going to be Chiefs Eagles. And obviously, I'm picking the Chiefs in that scenario. If it were the Bengals versus the Eagles, I would pick the Bengals in that game. I think that and if the Bills make it, I'm picking the AFC to win the Super Bowl, whoever it is. It's going to be one of those 3 teams because they are the 3 most dominant teams. And we're going to be able to enjoy a lot of good football. These next 2 weekends are the best weekends of football because they're the best product of football, obviously being the playoffs. And yeah, so it's gonna be fun. I really haven't even thought of it that like now I just said that my Super Bowl prediction is Chiefs Eagles, which is like weird because I literally haven't put those thoughts. But that's cool. That would be really fun. That would be a 1 seed versus a 1 seed, which I don't feel like ever happens.
No.
But yeah. Hey man, we got to the end of this end of the podcast. I think what we're gonna do is probably have a Super Bowl podcast, a preview, with all the fun props, all the fun antics of what goes into Super Bowl weekend and everything like that. And like I mentioned on the last podcast, I'll probably have some sort of probably not with you, Avery, but just because of expertise. Probably have some college basketball podcasts. You let's be honest, you follow after once it's March, and some of us are real degenerates and really enjoy college basketball, like tonight where Syracuse got the W against Virginia Tech. And
You think I'm insulted that I don't know jack shit about college? I don't know jack shit about college. Have someone that knows shit about college.
exactly.
Oh,
So we are going to wrap it up, my friend. It has been a lot of fun. Might have been probably my favorite show, honestly, because don't have to. Even though I love breaking down fantasy matchups, just breaking down the football games as a independent thing. That definitely is something I enjoy tremendously. So thank you, friend, and to everyone who might even have some betting interests, some betting, some DFS lineups, or any sort of different combination of gambling, putting some money on these games. Good luck and enjoy. And as always, even though they stink, go Jets.
Thank you, Commissioner, for another successful year of League Baum. You truly are the glue that holds us together and grinds us moving forward.
Oh, and congratulations to Avi Roth for winning League Baum. I don't know how I didn't lead that off, but you had to stay till the end to get that. Peace, boys.